1984 Chevrolet K10, lifted, 350, automatic, AC. Let's take it for a test drive. All right, so today we are in a 1984 Chevrolet K10. Really cool truck, and it's actually one that I owned a number of years ago. Sold it to a customer here in Texas. They played with it, drove it, had some fun with it for a few years, and then decided that they wanted to sell it, so that's how I ended up getting the truck back. Again, it's an 84 Chevrolet K10. Has a non-original 350, but runs really well, more of a stock style motor than anything. Backed by a turbo 350 3-speed automatic transmission, factory 12-bolt rear end. And then this one does obviously have your rough country lift on it. We'll talk about that later in the video. But you also have a really nice set of aftermarket headers, dual exhaust, tailpipes coming out the back. Really good sounding pickup going down the road. Not a race truck by any means, more of just a good cruiser. It's good at 65 miles an hour. Any more than that, I mean, you can push it to 70, but being lifted on the size of tires, it's not really a 75 plus mile an hour truck. If you're willing to brave it for that, you can. But again, it's good at 60, 65, very comfortable. It's nice and tight out on the open road, doesn't have any road walk. We're cruising at 65 right now. The speedo does say 44. It's got these aftermarket old school style digital gauges. They're just off, they're just not accurate. Speedo is working, it's just not, again, 100% accurate. On the interior here, you have a really nice brand new black dash pad. Nice seat cover, door panels, visors themselves, all that looks good. The carpet's newer and in really nice shape. Floor mats look good. You do have two aftermarket gauges up under the dash for oil pressure and water temperature. Both of those are functioning. The digital ones are not doing anything. The digital temp gauge is reading, it's just not accurate on the dash, so we have the one under the dash there. We're cruising at about 180, 185 degrees, so it's where it needs to be. And then the oil pressure gauge up on the digital dash is reading 00, but we got plenty of oil pressure on the actual gauge down low. So either these aftermarket digital gauges need to be calibrated, or you can buy some factory replacements or some, again, different digital gauges if you want all of these ones up here to work. I would say that'd be one of my biggest negatives, is some of the things not working. The wipers work on the low speed, but the other speeds are not working. The horn doesn't work. And then again, you have your gauges there on the dash that aren't working, but you have the ones under the dash that are working. And then the other items, just so my memory doesn't fail me here, you have your shifter indicator. The little needle for the shifter indicator is not 100% working. And when you switch the heats to defrost, it's not switching up here to the defrost, it's still just coming out of the vent. So some simple things need to be worked on or adjusted depending on what you want to do with the truck. Again, I'd personally go with some Dakota digital gauges, fix the horn, and then just drive it from there. And we're going to go ahead and go around this guy. I would suggest taking a look at the additional informations tab on my website, pcclassiccars.com. It will outline all of the things that work and all the things that do not work, so you do have accurate information. Or you can call up to the dealership and we can go through it with you. But there are a few things that do need to be addressed on this one if you want to. That additional information tab is, again, on the website, pcclassiccars.com. So, all right, we're warmed up good, so we'll head and get in the throttle a little bit more here. Like I mentioned earlier, not a crazy high performance setup, but the 350 is strong. It cruises nice. Transmission shifts through the gears well. Underneath is really solid. It's had a couple small little spots that have been repaired, but overall the floors, the inner rockers, the frame itself, the bottom side of the bed, all of it is very solid, very clean. I see no rust issues, no rust problems of any kind. On the exterior, you have a older spray and bed liner, but the bed's in good shape. The repaint on the truck, I don't know what the original color was, but the repaint is nice. It's probably a little bit older. It's got some little reaction bubbles over on the driver's door over here under the trim. Some other miscellaneous kind of imperfections and flaws around the truck. But overall, it does show well. If you want to take it to the next level, you can have a few of the little spots fixed. But for a truck to hop in and drive and cruise around, it's got a hell of a look to it. The wheels and tires are in good shape. The tires are a 2017 date code, but no dry rot, no cracking. You could flip the tires to a white letter out because they are a white lines tire on the inside, but I like the black walls out on this one. It looks good. Bumpers look nice. Trim does look good with some smaller imperfections. Just kind of expected older truck cosmetically. I would still be very proud to own this truck personally. Has still a great shine to it, just some smaller things kind of front to back on it. Glass is in probably good original condition. You do have some wiper marks on the windshield for both wipers. The wipers now aren't making any wiper marks, but probably happened earlier in the truck's life. This is a manual window truck. They do make it down, they do make it up. They're a little bit tight, but they do go all the way down, and you can't get them to go all the way up. They just need a little bit of assistance. Like a lot of square bodies, or if not all square bodies, you do have some wind noise coming from both vent windows on both sides. Not sure you're going to be able to adjust that out. I've put new vent windows in a million of these trucks with new rubber, and you still have wind noise, so just kind of one of those acceptable things when it comes to a square body truck. You do have a little wind noise there. Driving position is comfortable in here. This is a non-tilt truck, but there's a lot of room between me and the steering wheel. Obviously a lot of room between my head and the top of the cab. Back on the interior here, you do have an aftermarket stereo with some speakers up top. I personally think this truck just has one hell of a look to it. The stance is spot on. The suspension lift is a rough country lift, so you still get a good ride. Obviously with how lifted it is a little bit of a bumpier ride, but again, it's not pulling left, pulling right. It's got a Rancho steering stabilizer, front and rear leaf springs that have been upgraded with the Rancho setup. So good quality equipment was used when they lifted this truck. Stops true, stops straight, doesn't shake, doesn't have any vibrations. When you pop the hood, the engine bay's all clean, shows well, nothing's really out of place in there. Charging system's doing its job. Fluids all look good from the coolant to the motor, transmission, rear differential, brake fluid, everything checks out good. If you wanted to do some other things, you could always go with an aftermarket EFI system. Carburetor is doing its job well. For me, it's a great truck to kind of take to the next level. Drive while you're doing some things. Maybe put some newer gauges in here. Fix a couple of the things that aren't working. But a great platform to drive again like it sits, or again, take the truck to the next level. So really cool square body. Got a hell of a look to it, a lot of fun to drive. This truck does show 700 miles on it. Being that it has aftermarket gauges, we do not know what the actual miles of the truck are. The Carfax doesn't have any entries on it, so the miles are kind of unknown on this one, but it does have an aftermarket driveline in it. And then the Carfax does show a minor on it. Unfortunately, I don't have any information other than that it says it was a minor. I knew about it the first time I owned this truck, and now we're on round 2 of owning this truck, and it still doesn't bother me because it is minor. So it probably was just a small little cosmetic thing back in the day, because the truck is really clean front to back. Good shift again. There you have it. As always, I'm Mike. This is a 1984 Chevrolet K10 with a 350 automatic transmission, AC, lifted, from myself and everybody else here at PC Classic Cars. We appreciate y'all stopping in to watch another one of our test drive videos. Check out all the content across all of our social platforms, and we'll catch you guys on the next video.